Welcome to the Late Night Race Review. It was the tale of two Frenchmen being French in France. Or not quite in France, but in Monaco.
What did you do?
Exactly.
What did you do?
You don't lunge your teammate.
And the tale of another Frenchman being French, or Monegasque, or... Is Monaco part of France? Another man, Leclerc, wins.
Yes! 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 Oh, fuck!
It's the Monaco GP. Well, is it a GP actually? It's more of a parade, but it's the Monaco GP. As always, we wrap things up with a look at our predictions game. And don't forget to support the podcast by hitting those like, follow, and subscribe buttons. Welcome back to the Late Night Race Review. I am Owen Scott, and with me, as always, is Dave Jericho in his dressing gown, and our little Chinese chipmunk, Isidro Consalves. Hi, Isidro. In a weekend where the FIA got out their little wooden stick with the tennis ball on top and shoved it through KMag's wing, and then KMag replied by shoving his wing through Perez's wing, we're going to break apart the first lap of the Monaco GP and then get to bed nice and early. Dave, give us your thought on KMag destroying a Red Bull.
Oh God, we're going big. We're going big air from the get-go here, are we?
Straight in.
Oh my God.
5-minute podcast and then we're done.
5-minute podcast to sum up the fucking Formula One's mid-season parade. All right. K-Mag's fault, but I would say Perez should have done a little bit more. I think Perez knew he was there and just kind of intentionally kind of went, well, you back out. And it was kind of like, no, you back out. No, you back out. And no one backed out and they're all fucked.
Yeah. And Hulkenberg saw the result of it, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, Hulkenberg was a very innocent bystander in all that. But yeah, look, it was Kevin Magnussen's fault. Like, it was, the space was never going to be there. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure I've seen overtakes happen there, not in recent years, because overtakes doesn't happen in Monaco now. But like that's kind of, it's hard to call it a straight, but that was it the coming up to Casino Square, that area from the first hairpin from turn one. But it's, yeah, I'm gonna fucking embarrass myself now by trying to remember corners and areas of the track. But yeah, I think that I think had Perez just kind of pulled over a bit, I think that he would have saved himself a lot of heartache there. I mean, they were only P18, and was he P18 at that stage?
Yep.
Like, what are you fighting? Like, what are you squeezing someone into a barrier for? Like, but then at the same, same side of the coin, what is KMag doing trying to launch it up the inside either? But
I think it was a ridiculous move. I think it's Beau Rivage was where the crash was. It was a ridiculous move by KMag. I know, yeah. I've got a little map in front of me and everything. That's about the extent of my research for today's podcast. It was a ridiculous move. And K-Mag's been doing this recently in races. He's stopped giving a shit. Whether Haas have already told him that he's not back next season and he's just launching himself by everyone.
But I like that. I like a driver who's just like willing to just go the lunatic fucking route for a while. Like, I mean, it's been a while. Like Pastor Maldonado, like, I mean, that's, bring him back. That guy would just fucking wipe everybody out. Yeah, look, it was a dangerous move, but had Perez not have seen him, had we not have seen the replay where Perez was clearly looking in his mirrors, I'd have been like, yeah, that's absolute lunacy by Kevin Magnussen. The fact, though, that we saw Perez looking in his mirrors, saw him there, and just expected him to back out. I don't know. You're doing 150, 160 mile an hour. I think it's time to just kind of play the odds a little bit and pull out of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Isidro, the last Haas driver to make a risky move and destroy a car at Monaco ended up with a Mercedes contract. Do you think that's where K-Mag will end up now next year after yesterday's debacle?
No, I don't think so. And to be fair, for a man with 10 points in his license drive, he should be more careful what he's doing over there. I'm surprised the FIA didn't give anything because, I mean, he crashed two cars and himself. I think it deserved more than just an incident. And go on, boys.
Yeah, go on, Dave.
But I think the reason they probably didn't was because Haas could probably play the card that Perez could see him coming.
Yeah.
Like it's clear he's looking in his mirror. Like had that not, I think if that look wasn't there, it would have been just KMag just sent it up the inside, and it was just absolute lunacy. Whereas Kevin Magnussen was kind of just hoping that there was another driver that was going to give him a little bit of leeway, and he didn't. So I think it went down more as a racing incident than just Kevin Magnussen. Even though we know it was Kevin Magnussen's fault, but because of that look, I think it was going down as a racing incident.
And another driver who is in for a bit of a tough season by the looks of things. Although, Dave, you said there that there's possibly a new contract on the line from Perez. Somehow seems to be getting himself into contract talks with Red Bull. What is the story with this lad? Qualification terrible, race terrible, although not totally his fault, but he's having a shocker of a season.
Has he not just gone downhill for the last couple of seasons? Like I just like he's just not the same driver he used to be. All right, do you know what? I'm going to cut my rant. I was about to go on a rant, and I'm just going to stop myself because I know every single fucking podcast I go on a rant about Perez. I seen a bit of a rumor there. There's a news story up on therace.com saying that he's possibly up for a new contract with Red Bull. And if that's true, and they're a fairly reputable source, if that's true, I would be absolutely gobsmacked.
One last thing that we'd like to talk about quite a lot when this race comes around is should it be on the calendar? And I'll give you a quick little a reason as to why I think it shouldn't. If you go to the F1 website and you look up the qualifying order and then the race finish order, and you flick between those two pages, there is nothing in the difference. It is the exact same order, which is terrible for racing. I get that this is a big money event and it's the glitz and the glamour, but are we done with Monaco as a race?
Well, Isidro, I'll let you go first. I've been hogging the fucking microphone here.
I'm gonna say that. I mean, last year there was rain and we had 22 overtakes. So this year, dry weather and 2-3 overtakes maximum.
Yeah,
I think this year the teams are a bit more careful, especially Verstappen. He was in 6th. He could just decide, well, I either get 0 points or I can go for the 4th place.
Yeah.
And what he decided to do, just sleep and be happy on the 6th position and just complain that it's a boring race. Well, it's up to him. But I don't think they should remove, especially in 26, the car's going to be smaller. So hopefully it will have a little bit, it's 10 centimeters.
It'll be smaller than a bus. It'll be a medium-sized bus.
A smaller Land Rover.
I don't know. I think like if we've gone back and listened to like the last couple of last few seasons that we did the podcast on Monaco, I'm pretty sure my opinion would have been the same as yours, Scotty. That we just get rid of it. But now I don't know. I think this year I made my peace with it going to be a shit race. I just knew. I was like, we're going to get an exciting opening lap, and then forget about it. Just sit down and enjoy and just enjoy what it is, which is just, as I said at the start of the podcast there, it's just an F1 parade. Like, I mean, if they put this as a mid-season sort of, before they break for the mid-season break and had it as what it is, it's like a more of a spectacle, like an F1 showcase kind of thing. Exhibition. Like, that we, like in our WhatsApp group there, one of the guys had a good idea, like that, it's more about the qualifying, that basically it's timed laps basically over, because if there's no overtaking possible, then there's no racing possible. It's pointless. But I mean, if you're getting guys, you're just trying to get the to squeeze the fastest lap possible around Monaco, I'd be here for that now. That'd be exciting. But as it stands at the moment, I think we just all need to make our peace with it. It's just a parade. It's just, once the qualifying's over and we get to Sunday, it's an F1 showcase. Like, don't get me wrong, it's intense for the drivers driving around in that close proximity to walls and barriers and We saw what happened to Perez and Magnussen when it goes wrong. Like, it goes pretty much catastrophically wrong. So it is there's stuff on the line for them, but for us as spectators, just take it as the F1 parade before we fucking break for the summer.
I mean, you might as well be going down to a multi-story car park in the middle of Dublin and just watching cars driving around the multi-story car park, trying not to hit other cars and the curbs. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, it was
so
great.
get rid of Monaco. I'm done with it. Right, the other thing that has been setting the news ablaze today is the other big dick of the day, the biggest dick of the day, Esteban Dickhead Ocon. Esteban 10 points Ocon.
He's worse than Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, 100%. Dick move, being a dick, dickety dick. Dave, take it away. Esteban Ocon.
Dick.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Man, doing that on your teammate, like, it just so early on, like, as well, there was nothing on there. Like, it was madness. At least Kevin Magnussen was doing it on an opposition team. Like, oh, fuck me. Like, yeah. But then Ocon, he's notorious for this, like, you know, and Alpine drivers are just notorious for squabbling with each other as well. And even before, where was Ocon before?
The other crash.
Do you remember? Yeah, the other crash, wasn't it
Australia? Wasn't it?
No, wasn't it Saudi Arabia? Or not Saudi Arabia? Wasn't it Jeddah or something like that? Wiped out the two cars.
This year? I can't remember, actually.
No. Sorry, not last year. It was like 2 years
ago. Oh, no, Australia,
like
they wiped each other out. All right, on that, after the opening straight.
But wasn't he... Hang on a second. Right. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, do your work there on that.
Was it Hungary?
Say that
it
again.
Was Force India as well. Do you remember at Spa?
Oh, right, yeah.
They crashed going before they went into Eau Rouge. Do you remember?
Yeah. That's a while ago now.
But then as well in Jeddah as well, he did the same with his teammates. So he's got a history of wiping out teammates. Like,
the problem with Esteban Ocon is he feels that he's Max Verstappen. He feels he's the best driver on that grid without actually doing any of the work to become the best driver on the grid. It doesn't help that the person that has been involved with the team has been Zinedine Zidane, who notoriously in the World Cup final headbutted Marco Materazzi. This was the equivalent of that Marco Materazzi headbutt. We're seeing it coming out on the track now, so I don't think he should be involved anymore. But team principal firing out a very quick response, I think almost even trackside.
What do you think he's going to do? Because the commentators were going on about, his contract's up for renewal, and you're like, you're hardly going to just not give him you're hardly going to give him a contract, and then just because of that kind of go, we're not giving you a contract now. And they also talked about maybe getting him to sit out Canada.
Yeah.
Like, what the you just can't do that. You have to just bring him back, smack him on the ass, tell him he's been a bad boy, and fucking send him back out again. Like, what are you going to do? Like,
so his comments were, Esteban's attack was completely out of line. It's exactly what we didn't want to see, and there will be consequences. We are going to make a tough decision. So that was in the heat of the moment. Straight away, he said these things, and then he backtracked on it. Then,
but you know what? Everyone's going to say in Canada. So, what was the tough decision you made? What to order for dinner? Like,
yeah.
What were you going to say, Isidro?
I was going to say it's not like Alpine has a parade of drivers just waiting to sign up with them, especially the way they are doing this year. So
sure, they've got Piastri waiting to. Oh
no! Okay, right. Let's take a run through the grid and see if there's any other news that pops up. Leclerc, I hadn't realised, Dave.
Hang on. Let's go back a bit. Let's see if any other news pops up. The guy from Monaco wins his home race.
That's what I was
ahead of a
go
Red
into.
Bull. Like, it's a pretty big part of the race.
Okay, it's not a huge part. He was first, and then he finished first, and it was kind of boring.
But this guy has a curse of Monaco. He's never fucking got on the podium in this race ever.
So this is the thing that I didn't actually realise. I had thought that he had won in Monaco before, and I didn't realise until yesterday that he didn't. He is qualified first quite a lot, but somehow not ended up first.
He's had horrific luck at this race. Do you remember even his DNS? Do you remember didn't he crash going to the grid or something like that? And then the car was non-repairable in time.
It was a qualifying crash, no? And then they were trying to repair it in time for the race day, and it didn't get done.
Was it? I thought it was wet, and he fucking clipped the car. Hang on a second.
Maybe you're going to have to look that
Talk
one up
among
as well.
yourselves again.
But Leclerc finally getting it across the line in a lot of firsts coming up. Norris with his first win. Leclerc now with his first Monaco win. Is there signs of stuff happening at Red Bull, Isidro, that are leading to all of these wins, or are they just coincidences?
I don't know. I would like to see a Red Bull at 100%. Fighting a McLaren 100% and the Ferrari at 100%, because so far the victories are well deserved. Leclerc, Norris, but it was but also in the shadow that the Red Bull was not at 100%.
Sure.
So I'm just waiting to see a race where they all be side by side, all at their best, and we'll see McLaren goes first or Ferrari go first. But nevertheless, we knew that Monaco was not a track for that Red Bull. And the fact that the qualification dictates basically who wins the race. We saw Leclerc getting the pole position, meaning that most likely he'll finish first. And there it was.
Yeah, there are these caveats there. The Lando Norris one, there was the safety car came out just at the right time, and then obviously he pulled away, and so you can argue that performance-wise, the McLaren outshone the Red Bull that day. But again, Monaco, no one's passing anyone. Leclerc wins in qualifying means that he wins the race. There's little caveats to these things. Dave, do you think that Red Bull are as bad off as it seems at the moment? Is it just it's track specific type stuff?
Before I say about Red Bull, I'm just going to correct myself. You were right. Leclerc was because of it was a drive shaft issue, and that's why he didn't start the race. But they did get into the grid, and then when they fired the car up on the grid, they realized then there was an issue, and he couldn't start.
Wasn't happening,
race.
yeah. So
anyway.
they get to the grid in the end.
So I had been reading that. So what were we talking about, everyone?
So what my point was that the two wins that were not taken away, but the ones that weren't Verstappen wins, the Norris and now Leclerc, were somewhat track specific. There was incidents that happened. I know the safety car can happen in any race, but that led to Norris being in the position to take that win, and obviously the pole position for Leclerc yesterday meant that he was able to take that win as well. Are Red Bull as bad off as it seems in recent weeks?
It's hard to know because the Monaco, look, that is what it is. Like, there's not much to talk about there really. Like, poor qualifying. The car didn't seem to suit him too well. He complained about it early on, even in the free practice. But the races before, even when he won, do you remember he just won by by 7/10 or something like that from Norris, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that again was down to the tires. The car was understeering and stuff like that. And when and then the ones that he lost as well, same. He was the tires were just not kind of switching on for that car and causing understeer and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think we're off to Canada next. I suppose we'll know after Canada, really, won't we? And I'll be honest, I don't think Red Bull will be. They'll be better than they were at Monaco, but I think they're dropping off. I think they're. I think Canada could see. Actually, I don't want to give it away because I've got my predictions coming up.
Okay.
But I think that I think they're in a little bit of trouble, and I think that there's not just a little bit of trouble with the car. I think there's doubt has set in. It's like a Premier League football team going for a title, and you lose. You're winning every game, and then or your rivals winning every game, and then you lose one game or you draw one game, and all of a sudden that little bit of doubt creeps in, and now
there it is. You
start losing games that you should be winning, and I think that could start happening with Red Bull. I mean, as much as Max Verstappen's a great driver and stuff like that, he gets very emotional and overly aggressive sometimes as well. So he's going to be determined to try and win, which could end up causing him to hurt the tires, or be more aggressive in his driving, and then as a result, you could see a different winner at Canada, I think.
Right. Okay. Yeah, let's move on to again. There's not an awful lot to talk about here, really, to be honest. Piastri and Norris again finishing quite high up. Qualifying was good as well. McLaren in a good position. Isidro, everything looking rosy there.
Yeah, I think McLaren this year they got their ducks on a row. I mean, since Silverstone last year, we see McLaren going better and better after each race, and this season so far they've been very, very good. And Monaco is not a showcase to the car. They were more. There was no need to show the McLaren there. It was just the drive itself. They need to keep their cool. And in case of Piastri, he was chasing Leclerc for the first races, but then he realized I better finish second than not finish at all. And Norris was also happy not chasing Sainz. So overall, I think McLaren did very well. Drivers were just to realize what they could do and what they could lose, and they just got second and fourth, and up they go.
Piastri was the fastest driver though at the start. I mean, he was all over the back of Leclerc, and I think he would have probably tried to make a move at some stage in the opening 2 laps had it not been red flagged, because he was right on the back of Leclerc at the start. So, yeah, it was a bit of a pity that the race got stopped there, because I think there was going to be a good battle with those two for a little while. But then again, that would have been probably the last that we would have seen of the excitement. So, yeah, McLaren looking good.
A bit strange how that red flag came about, because we were watching the coverage and it was Sainz that kind of veered off after Beau Rivage, whatever it was, up the top of the hill there. And then all of a sudden the red flag came out, and I was thinking, that doesn't necessarily need a red flag. And then you saw all of the debris on the tracks. Like, what just happened? Crazy crash. So looking down the grid there, Mercedes, yeah, whatever. Verstappen down in 6th, whatever. The biggest thing for me that I thought was quite funny, Fernando Alonso finished P11, but he actually thought that he finished P10. He was under the impression, apparently, there was a news article came out. He said he got confused because when we built the gap and Lance was in front of me after the pit stops, they said, "Okay, we've secured 10th. We've been doing all this for the last point," is what Alonso was told. So he was under the impression that he was in 10th and didn't push, so ended up in P11. Meaning that Gasly gaining a point for Alpine, which seemed undoable after the first lap.
The shit show that unfolded.
Yeah. A shock P8 for YukiTsunoda. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Not quite a shock for some of us.
Yeah, it was.
Before we go down the rest of the tripe in the fucking grid,
yeah, there's nothing else to say really about the grid.
Well, did we mention while I was off reading about Charles Leclerc's fucking 6 year ago fucking Monaco Grand Prix, did we mention the strategy finally from Ferrari that they actually did something pretty impressive where they were holding the gap between George Russell so that the McLarens couldn't get a pit stop?
No. Explain.
That was impressive.
Yeah, go on, explain about that.
So they were getting and you know, Leclerc had asked on the radio about what the gaps were, and whoever it was on the team radio came back and just said, "Oh, not interested. We're not interested." And he goes, "Yeah, but what's that? Yeah, we're not interested," because they were trying to.
Yeah.
He was slowing down intentionally to have the gap between Norris and Leclerc, and Norris and George Russell under the pit window, because otherwise that would have allowed. Because you saw Lance Stroll, he did, and there was someone else who managed to do a couple of overtakes on the soft tire. Who was it? Was it Bottas?
Bottas got one. Yeah.
So I think what the Ferraris then didn't want was that there was a pit stop there for Norris or for both McLarens to come in for the soft compound tires towards the end and be absolutely lightning fast, because there would have been a good chance then that they would have been able to overtake the Ferraris. So the Ferraris obviously backed them up to make sure that pit stop window wasn't an option. So that for all the years that Ferrari have had horrific pit stop strategies, that was up there with Carlos Sainz keeping what's his face in the DRS zone. Remember to stop him overtaking him. That was up there with that.
Very, very clever. Very clever. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? I don't think there really was.
Nah,
was there?
fuck it. Look, we know it was other than we had 3-4 exciting bits and a new winner. After that, look, it was Monaco. It was a parade float. We had people handing out sweets and throwing stuff off the
pure Paddy's Day, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, people with novelty heads and.
Right, Dave, take us into our driver of the day, dick of the day.
No, driver, loser, and dick.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
All right, so driver of the day. I don't. Do you know? I'm just going to give it to Charles Leclerc because he finally won his home race. I think there's other drivers out there probably deserved it more from a racing standpoint, but the fact that they didn't, no one was able to overtake or do anything with it. I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc because he won his race. Go on, Isidro.
Out of curiosity, Joe Guan Yu was second on driver of the day on the official list. I don't know why.
He finished last of all the drivers that actually finished the race.
He got 12% of the vote.
Isn't this just crazy? I'm not going to get on a rant about fucking
no.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my driver of the day to Alex Albon, who got himself two juicy points for Williams after an absolute fucking shocker for that team over the last few weeks. Delighted for him, and that's where my vote would be going.
Isidro, who's your vote?
For me, it will be Charles Leclerc.
Okay.
Winning his first home race.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
We've got it. Well, look, unanimous there. We've got a deciding vote there, 2 against 1.
Grant, whatever.
All right. The loser of the day. I mean, there's a few here. Like, I'm. There's a few.
So many.
I'm going to give it to Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah.
He was collected by something that had nothing to do with him, and he was just an innocent bystander. Thought he was, and the worst thing was he thought he was through it. He was like, "Yes, I made it," and then
just caught him.
So he'd be my loser of the day.
Yeah, has to be. Yeah, Hülkenberg as well. Isidro?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
All right, dick of the day. I mean. It goes to the crowning fucking the title holder, Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, what a dick. Yeah. Esteban.
Absolute fucking plank.
You dick bag.
Ocon.
Big bag of dicks at Alpine.
All right. Well, that's well. At least we fucking fairly nailed our losers and dicks. All right. Okay. Predictions.
Oh,
Jesus. For anybody listening to this, we're doing this late onto a Monday evening and not our normal time. If you can't tell that, I can tell our enthusiasm levels here are dwindling fast. All right, let's plow through this. Come on, let's keep it going.
Got it.
Right. Look, you have to give me credit. Well, actually.
What? What?
You laughed at me when I said about Piastri and Norris. You were just like you thought that was too big of an error. But I can see it now, that could have happened. It didn't, and I got 0 on all my guesses. Piastri P1, 0. Norris P2, 0. And Verstappen P3, 0.
Like that, I was hopeful of some sort of a McLaren either 1-2 or 2-3. I went for Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, and I got the order a little bit mixed up and got no points.
And this fucking chancer.
I know, look at this fella.
All right.
Verstappen first, Norris second, Sainz third.
Boo.
Yeah.
Pure luck.
All right, so we have so far 1 point. All right, my flop. Oh God, this guy is gonna kill me.
Yeah, this hurts.
Tsunoda outside the top 10. Goose egg. You just think that would have happened at Monaco, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I went for Lance Stroll outside of the top 10, and I got that. That's a point for me. Yay.
Yeah.
I went with Leclerc DNF. Could be more wrong.
I mean, yeah, but I
That's
mean,
valid.
you went on history on that one. Like it was very possible. Oh fuck me! Like it just gets worse for me. Alonso, top 10. Now, apparently, if the news articles,
Yeah.
there might be something to go on this, but 0 for me.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the stupid ass pit crew telling Alonso that he was in P10, this would have come off for me as well. So I said Alonso P10 or top 10, and it didn't happen because of fucking Aston Martin.
Here
Now,
I am.
Isidro
Tsunoda.
will give him hand. Let's clear the room, clear the airwaves. Isidro, give us your surprise for Monaco.
Tsunoda, P8.
Oh, iconic.
And my 2 points.
That's 2 points.
Iconic. That was a beautiful, beautiful guess out of nowhere.
So that leaves our tables currently
God.
at Scotty in
He's coming back.
first place on 13 points. Isidro absolutely make it a storming comeback thanks to that Tsunoda P8. He's up to
Huge.
12 points. And I am absolutely chasing up behind in 6 points in third.
So is this tactic of just making up your guesses on the day working out for you?
It is absolutely playing a blinder for me. I'm playing the long game, lads. Wait for it. I'm winning this season. I'm winning this season. All right. Canada. Oh, Canada. All right. All right. My top 3. I am going with.
It's harder now. Look, it really is. You can't just say it straight away.
I'm going with. Fuck. I'm going with Norris P1.
Oh. He's nailing his colours to the mast.
I'm going Norris P1. I'm
Big
going
shout.
with. Fuck me. I'm going for Verstappen P2.
Oh, whoa. Huge. Huge moment in the season.
P3 now. P3.
Go on, you Joe.
YukiTsunoda.
Yeah, Yuki.
If I call YukiTsunoda P3 and he gets it, I win this season.
Yeah. Go on, call it. I'll give you that.
No. I'm a lunatic on the fucking guesses this season, but I'm not that bad.
Not that bad. Yeah.
So P3, I am gonna go with. It's going to be. It's either. Fuck it! I'm going Piastri.
Okay.
Ooh, no Ferraris on podium.
Yeah, well, that was the internal argument I was having with myself.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I am going to go with a little bit more of a sensible outlook. I'm going to say Verstappen P1. I'm going to say Leclerc P2, and I'm going to say Norris P3.
I love the way you say that's a sensible outlook, given how well the teams are starting to perform now. Like mine was absolutely ridiculous.
You can't bet against Verstappen, can you?
Sorry, who did you go with P3?
Norris.
Oh, sorry.
Norris P3. I think Leclerc and Norris are going to bring that winning mentality, but it's not going to be enough. I think Verstappen's going to take it.
I just don't think the Ferraris are going to have it. Don't think they're going to have the pace in Canada.
Okay.
Go on, Isidro. Who you got?
Going Verstappen first, Norris second, Leclerc third place.
Ooh.
Look at you two lads.
Yeah.
Right. My flop is going to be.
I mean, it's fairly easy to pick. There's a few little picks there that you could use.
Come on.
Do you know, I don't want to pick this person, but I'm going to pick it because I think it's probably going to be the safer of the.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go with Albon outside the top 10.
I mean, that's
you guys
fair.
have no balls.
Yeah. All right. My flop is going to be Pierre Gasly outside of the top 10. That's so easy.
Do you know?
Give me the point now. No, it's not happening. No way.
We need to change the rules.
Oh, shut up.
Otherwise, I go with Sainz, DNF. 2 points for crash.
Oh, he's going for the big air again.
Someone must have balls among these.
Okay,
podcasts.
all right. Genie. Right, Dave. Bring it.
Surprise. YukiTsunoda P8. Surprise.
I mean,
I know I could play the points, but I'll be honest, I'm enjoying going for some fucking off the wall ones. So I'm not gonna go with an Alonso or anything like that into the top 10. I'm not doing it.
okay.
Not doing it. Or Perez or any of that kind of shit. Perez is crashed, so that you can't do that anyway.
Yeah, no, he's a crash.
You hear, Scotty?
Huh?
You know what I'm going to do.
I am gonna go with what we at? We're at a surprise. Fucking hell. All right, okay. I am gonna go with what we got there. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it for the laugh. Tsunoda P8.
Oh, nice. All right, let me give you mine. Here we go. I'm going to go for big air here, and I'm going to say Fernando Alonso inside the top 10. I'm winning this thing for a reason, Dave. Don't knock it.
You're just grinding us into the ground.
Yeah, like a good Man City side.
Alonso.
Winning week in, week out, apart
Top
from last
10,
week.
except with the FA Cup.
Yeah. Oh, you had to get in there. Yeah, okay. Where did Cedro go on?
Let's see if you guys like it. No pit stop to be above 2.5 seconds.
No pit stops above 2.5.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Nah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not happening. No way. Good shout, though. That's good.
Yeah, I like this. See, Isidro knows how to play the game.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's losing. Okay.
He is catching you quicker
Yeah,
than I
whatever.
am.
And not playing those Alonso outside top 10, Alonso inside top 10.
So no pit stop above 2.5 seconds. If that happens, fucking hell, how are we going to fucking police this now?
There's the F1 page has the listing for all.
For all
stops.
pit stops
Yeah.
in a race.
Yes.
There you go. Doing this for 3 years and I never knew that.
Well done, Isidro. Good job, man.
All right. Perfect. Well, that is Canada in 2 weeks' time, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I think it's stupid that they're going to Canada and then I think they're going back then to, was it Austria or something, or Spain?
So
or something?
dumb.
Like, I thought we were supposed to be doing this fucking, like, we do Europe first, then we go to Americas, and then we go South America. Like,
Just
fucking
do
hell.
them all. That's just stupid, yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
everybody. Let's fucking hit the fucking showers. We'll see you in Canada.